Hi everyone, my name is Maddie, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video where I'm doing a very impromptu 24-hour readathon. I've known for a while that I've wanted to do another 24-hour readathon. I did one a few months ago, which I'll link that video. That was a 2-day readathon where I read for 24 hours total across 2 days. And I've known I've wanted to do another one, but I keep not having 2 days in a row completely free. I have something on every day, be it something to do, an appointment, or a fun thing, whatever. I've always got something on, so it's been really difficult to find the time. And I woke up this morning and realised I have nothing on. Literally nothing on. So I'm gonna read all day. I am not gonna try and read for 24 hours total because it is one day, and I do have a lot of stuff on tomorrow, so it is literally a one-day readathon. So we're back to the old school version of 24-hour readathon where it's just read as much as you can within a 24-hour period. I've said this before, I will say it again. I'm not staying up till stupid o'clock because it will ruin me, and I have a decent sleep schedule at the moment and I'm not willing to sacrifice it. So basically, it is almost 10 AM. I woke up at about 8:30 and then I've just done a couple errandy bits to make sure there is nothing I need to do for the rest of the day, pretty much. So I've been out and got myself food for the day and some fun snacks for the readathon. I've cleaned my flat, I've done some laundry, all the bits you just need to get ticked off. And the only remaining thing I need to do is go for a run, which I'll do sometime in the early afternoon. So that is gonna take out about an hour. But that's fine, we can sacrifice an hour, that's fine. As I said, it's almost 10 AM. My goal, very vaguely, would be to read for 12 hours, because that's the most I've ever managed to read in a day. Whether I will manage it, I don't know. Basically, I'm gonna set a timer when I start reading and it will count up throughout the day and we'll see where we get to and see how much I can get through in the day. So, what am I reading? Very, very quick TBR for you. This may not be stuck to. The only thing that is certain is the first book, which is Starling House by Alex E. Harrow. I will be reading this. This is one of my most anticipated reads ever because it's Alex E. Harrow. I did just read the first 5 pages when I first woke up to check I was in the right mood to read this kind of book today, and I am, so we're starting with this. I don't know much about it. Haunted house vibes. You're following someone in Kentucky who's not doing too well in a bit of a not great town, and is obsessed with this author and illustrator, I think, from when she was a kid. And there is a house, this author is something Starling, and there is a house called Starling House, shockingly, which is no one knows anything about it. It's bizarre, and this person had a childhood obsession with it, and they're not doing that anymore now they're an adult, and I think somehow or other they come into being in and around this house, and things go from there. So that's where I'm starting, because I'm so excited for this. I'm then very tempted to read Chlorine by Jade Song. Anyone that knows me says I don't read horror. I'm realising that there are very different kinds of horror, and what I don't like is what I assumed all horror was I don't like being scared. I don't want to feel uneasy, I don't want to be scared, I don't want to go to bed feeling freaked out. It's just not my vibe. So this, I feel is my kind of horror, body gore, fine. Weird stuff, fine. I've just read things like Paradise Rot. I think I'm going to be okay. And this is Allison Paiges Pocket Pages book club book for October, which is Allison Paiges Patreon, which I've just joined, which is very exciting. So this is only just over 200 pages, 220 pages. So between the two of those, that's about 550 pages, which is doable in a day. I've done it before, but it is quite a lot, I won't deny. So we'll see. And then if I want to do something a bit different and I want to mix things up and keep myself awake, I have Fangs. I've read volume 1 before and loved it, but I need to reread it to read volume 2, which I really need to get to. So I might end up doing that. And then I do have one other thing in mind, but we'll see. Basically, I need to get the fuck on with this because it is 1 minute to 10 and 10 AM was my absolute latest I was going to start. Okay, it's just turned 10, need to get on with this. So with that in mind, the stopwatch is here. I'm gonna lap it as I finish books so that I can see how long each one took me. If I remember, I'm historically very bad at timers and accidentally turning them off in the middle of the day, so we'll see how it goes. But it is 10 AM, let's start. Hello, it has been many hours since I last spoke to you. My timer is up to, where is it? Almost 4 hours, 3 hours and 53. It is 3:30 p.m, which should mean I should be on 5.5 hours, but we've had some breaks. I had a lunch break, I had a little pause, and then I may have just had a half-hour nap because honestly, we're not quite feeling today, but that's fine. I am obsessed. I am not as far through as I wanted. I wanted to be done by this time so I could go on my run. And then I wanted to get to 200 pages so I could get on my run. And I've done neither of those things and I want 162 pages, but I'm going out anyway because it's 25 degrees and the flat's boiling, so I may as well be outside. And I'm not feeling too hot. I'm honestly not feeling that hot. I'm quite tired, I'm feeling very drained, I'm feeling very meh. So I'm going on a run, which may well be a walk, but I'm gonna get out, I'm gonna get some steps, and I'm gonna put some miles on my legs, and it'll be fine. Because I don't really want to run, because I feel really grim today. But I'm gonna get out and move my body so that I stop falling asleep whilst I'm reading. But as I said, whilst I put my running shoes on, I'm gonna tell you about that book, because I really do need to get out of the house as soon as I can. This book is actually just fucking incredible. Like, we know, the light's coming right up for this. We know I'm obsessed with Alex E. Harrow. Like, that is not new information. I am obsessed. Her writing is just beyond stunning, honestly. It's fucking gorgeous. And this book is no exception. It is like southern gothic vibes, which I knew was what it was going to be because she's been talking about it a lot in the last while, I don't know, a few months, year, I don't know. So I knew that was going to be the style, which I wasn't sure would be my thing, but when Alex Harrow does it, anything is my thing, honestly. She is fantastic. The story is absolutely fascinating. Like, I just want to know what's happening next, but it's also so just atmospheric and eerie and just a little bit bizarre. You don't know quite what's real and what isn't, but like the main character's taking it in her stride, and it's, as I said, a bit eerie, bit weird, but super fascinating, absolutely haunting in its writing and its story. And the romance. I did not expect any iota of a romance in this book, and it is getting me. It is absolutely ruining me. It is gorgeous. I am obsessed. I am so invested in these characters. We have just had something happen and I'm so stressed. I don't know what's gonna happen next. I'm so intrigued and so ready to keep reading. But I'm gonna do that in an hour once I've been on a bit of a walk or a run. So this is my motivation to get back as quickly as I can. I still really don't want to go. Wish me luck. It's worth it. I'll feel so much better afterwards. They'll also be very sweaty, because why is it 25 degrees in October? London, I would like to have a word. I love hot weather. Why is it 25 degrees in October? What is that all about? Honestly. Okay, I need to stop procrastinating by bitching about the weather. Bye. I am bright red. I'm not sweaty. This is moisturizer from getting out the shower. I am no longer sweaty, I promise. I'm just I have the driest skin in human history, so I just moisturized within an inch of my life and let it sink in over like 3 hours to hopefully not have awful skin. Not the point. I am bright red, which is what happens when you run in 24-degree heat. So I'm boiling. But I just want to do a very quick chat, because obviously I started this vlog very much like, let's go, read for 24 hours, get as much done as we can, energy, woo. And as I said in the last clip, I'm feeling a bit crummy, not feeling the best, not feeling hot. And so I went out on my little walk / run and actually ran a decent bit. Is it the best run ever? No. Is it gonna push my stamina further? I mean, no, because it wasn't harder, but yes, because I'm learning how to run more. But I just like had this moment when I was out on the run quite near the beginning where, like, you'll all know, I've talked about Allison Paiges a lot recently because, again, obsessed. And there's something she always says, which is, you don't have to do something, you get to do something. And I'm like really trying where I can to use that mindset. And I just went hard on it when I was out on this run. I was like, I don't have to go out on a run. I get to go out on a run. I get to go and move my body and be out in the sun in quite likely one of the last days of weather like this for 6 months before we descend into darkness and cold for a very long time, which I always hate. I get to be out and see people enjoying the sun and people sat out reading and all of the dogs and the squirrels and the cute nature that we get. I am so lucky to live so close to a big green space, even though I'm in London. And I just had this moment of like, why am I not enjoying this? And, you know, I get to put on 5 Seconds of Summer and run looking like a complete idiot. Anyone that's watched Friends, if you've seen the episode where Phoebe runs like an absolute mad person, that's basically what I was doing. I was there jamming along to my music, barely running, mouthing all the words, having a fantastic time. And I was like, this is what I get to do, not what I have to do. And just, I've come home, I've done it, I feel good that I've accomplished it, I've had a shower, and I'm so warm still because it's warm. So I've put on all my like baggy, comfy clothes, and I'm gonna sit and I'm going to absolutely just dissolve into the amazing world that is this book and just enjoy it for everything it is. And then I don't know what I'm going to pick up next. I have an idea that we'll see if this happens, but Psalm of the Wild Built, many of you will know, is one of my favourite books of all time. I read it when it came out and loved it. Like no tomorrow. Absolutely loved it. And in March, I started a reread of this and was annotating it, and I got over halfway through, or about halfway through, and then stopped because I came home from holiday. And I've been really meaning to go back to this, so if I end up with the time, you know, I'm gonna reread the bit of this I've annotated and then annotate the rest. Slow, nice things that are relaxing and fun, and I'm still gonna have my timer going, and we'll see how much time I've dedicated to reading and spending time with books today. I'm having a slow recuperation day and I feel absolutely fantastic for it. And with that, I'm going to go and dive back into this and just absolutely love every second of it. I don't even know where to start. 5 stars. Incredible. Alex Harrow's done it again. There is not something this author has written that I've not liked. I didn't tab it tons. I don't know if you can even see those tabs. There's a few. There's not loads. I didn't have tabs for the first 100 pages because I don't tab that books that often anymore. And so I don't carry my tabs around with me. And then I will get to like a quote that I have to tab, and so I'll go get them. And then as I have them with me, I tend to do a bit more. So it took me a minute, but there are some killer quotes in this book. Just absolutely stunning. I'm gonna read a few out. When you want what you can't have, so you bury it like a knife between your ribs. Just, oh my god, I love Alexi Harrow so much. Her writing is unbelievably gorgeous. Also, I mentioned earlier the romance in this has taken me out. It has absolutely taken me out. I'm a deceased human being. My food's here. Okay, we'll eat that in a minute. What was I doing? The romance, oh my god, okay, so the romance absolutely ruined me. It was gorgeous and heartfelt, and just like, I'm just gonna read a couple of quotes from it. So I'm not gonna read all of this, I'm gonna read sections of it that kind of tie it together, and also because I don't want to spoil people too much. But it's, if I'd ever imagined him kissing me, I would have thought it'd be quick and awkward, a passionless pent-up affair that would leave me irritable for a week but otherwise cold. At first, going by the taut lines of his face, I think I'm right. But then his hands find the sides of my face and his lips crush into mine with a bruising, furious heat, almost cruel in its intensity, and I think, I should have known. I should have known that he would only kiss me if it had come to the end of all his tight-held restraint. I should have known it would feel like a fucking forest fire. I can't cope. There's also tons of funny moments, there's tons of sad moments. Oh, just, I'm beyond obsessed. Another one for the romance. His gaze spins wildly across the room until it lands on me with the quivering certainty of a compass needle. What am I supposed to do with that? What am I, a mere mortal, supposed to do with that? Just, the writing throughout was absolutely gorgeous. This was the perfect level of a little bit scary, but never actually like scary. It was really atmospheric. It had you on the edge of your seat. It had quite like an intense pace to it at times, but it's also lyrical and beautiful and slow, and it just meanders, and you just get this gorgeous story of basically two people who all they want is home. And it does really interesting discussions of the difference between want and need, and how that's really, really different for different people. Just beautiful, 5 stars, loved. I am now a broken human. So, as I mentioned, I am now going to move on to some of the wild build. It's quite late. It's about it's 9, almost 9. It's 8:45 now. And I forgot to start my timer for an hour and a half, so I'm up to 6 hours, but I'm actually, I think, at about 7 and a half. I've got a few hours left in me. I'll stay up till 11:30ish, so I've got about 3 hours. And obviously I'm going to eat, which will kill some of that time, but then I'm going to start on some of the wild build. I may not get far enough into this to annotate tonight. However, when I was annotating this, it was like the first book I'd ever annotated, so I'm not sure how much I did. There's a decent chunk. I feel like you can see that like there's a good few bits in there, but I don't know whether I did everything I'd want to. So on my reread, I've got my annotating supplies here, which is very simply some highlighters, a pen, and also some little pieces of paper, because there are certain things in this book that make me have almost essay-like thoughts and I want to write them down. So I'm going to start this. At the very least I can read up to page 88 tonight, meaning I can then annotate going forwards tomorrow. This vlog may continue over into tomorrow. We'll see how I'm feeling and how I'm doing. Obviously it has changed from 24 hours to a bit of a slow reading day, but we're still seeing how much I can get read and I'm having a bloody fantastic time. But my food's going to get cold, so I'm going to eat that and catch up with you later. It's been a few days since I was meant to be doing that 24-hour readathon. As you saw, it didn't really end up being a 24-hour readathon. I did read 2 books, which was nice. I read Starling House and I read A Psalm for the Wild Build, which this camera is currently sat on top of, so I don't have them to hand. And I had a fantastic time, and honestly, I think I learned a bit of a lesson that sometimes you just need to slow down. And I appreciated that. I ended up having a really fantastic time. I read 2 great books. I got the things I need to get done. I think in total my timer got to about 9 to 10 hours. So it's not bad, but certainly not quite as much as I had originally planned. But we did it. It was a good time. I had fun. I read 2 utterly fantastic books. Starling House is an absolute new favourite for me. It was gorgeous. I would highly recommend it to anyone that likes an atmospheric and heart-wrenching read. And Psalm for the Wild Build I can go on about until the cows come home. It's just a gorgeous little novella about purpose and why people exist and how you can be who you want to be. It's gorgeous. I'll read the sequel soon, but I didn't get to it in this one. But I finally finished annotating it, which I started 6 months ago in March, 7 months ago. So feeling very good that I finally got that done. So you know what? I read nearly 500 pages in 2 days and I loved every second of it. And I had a nice, relaxing time. So did I fail the 24-hour readathon? Perhaps. Did I also win? I think so. But that is it for this slightly shorter than planned video. I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless, and I hope you all take away the lesson of sometimes just don't. Just don't. Just vibe and have fun and don't stress about it. If you've made it all the way to the end of this video, then please leave a house emoji down below for Starling House and give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more from me, etc, etc. But that is it for this video, so bye, and I'll see you in the next one.